Alright, I wanted to show off my '01 chassis. This is one of the last chassis to be built. The production line stopped in 2000 and this is an '01, and you could get them all the way to '02. I didn't actually get the VIN code and date put on them until they were shipped from the factory. So for a couple of years they just sat in Canada waiting for dealer purchases or manufacturer purchases. And this one's an amazing example of what's out there, or what's not out there maybe. I'm just gonna walk around this thing. Can't get any farther back here. I'll have to walk into the river. Let me get over here so we can get the whole car in. I spent about a year building this car, and I've done some other videos on it. I was going to build it into kind of an off-road Baja. We were going to put a lift kit and some stuff on it, and I have a wood gasifier that I'm building for a Metro. I'll just walk around it one more time. Where you run firewood and run the engine on the smoke from the firewood. Google gasifier if you're not sure. We're building a Wayne Keith system. Anyhow, you got to do some modifications to the car and kind of cut it up, and carrying firewood in the car kind of beats it up. And this car I got is just immaculate. I mean, it's beautiful, and I just couldn't bring myself to destroy it. And I shouldn't say destroy it, just to ugly it up on a practice run. I basically went through this entire car. I added everything I possibly could because I thought it was going to be my own personal driver. Now that I'm done with it, I realize it's not. So I've purchased another car that's actually quite beat up, and we're gonna go through and make that wood gasifier and the lift. I bought one of those Russian lift kits to raise the struts up and stuff on it. We're gonna kind of make it I don't know. I'm not sure what you'd call it. A lot more aggressive. Let's just call it that. Let me show you the interior on this car. It's beautiful. Now the floor mats here. Now I got some dirt from my feet on them, but I've actually got them flipped over. These floor mats are brand new. I just took them out of the package a few days ago. The interior in it is just beautiful. Maybe we can see through the window, and then again maybe we can't. But just a great vehicle. This was no dash fading whatsoever, besides some dust there on the dash. It's just perfect. That's what it is. Let me jump in here. I added some things to it. You'll have to excuse the camera angle there. I have one of those selfie sticks on this thing to hold it. I installed that Soundtracker Cobra setup at CB, and the unit's actually mounted up underneath the dash real clean, like it was from the factory. I copied the Cadillac installation of the CBs that they did back in the '70s and '80s, where they just used the power mic. So the entire CB is actually right here, and then the cable very cleanly goes right back in behind the dash, and it's you never have to go back there. Everything is right here, and you just pull it right on and off. Show that again. And that doesn't get in the way of the fan switch if you're into Geos, because I've moved the fan switch. Let's turn the key on here. I've put a digital climate control on this car. And so now also put a stereo and new speakers in it, and they sound amazing. But what I was going to show you is you set the temperature for whatever you want. I'm just going to run it up so the fan turns on. And then obviously I've got the defroster on now, but the fan pops right on. The other thing that I've turned that off so it's not making noise. It's very easy to set. These are a lot of fun, and actually quite easy to install. But driving it's really nice when the temperature is not up and down. Somebody rolls the window down, the heater turns on if you want, or if they roll it up. Well, it's just more of a modern car. I mean, everybody's got climate control now. I've put magnetic GPS and cell phone mounts in. So on the back of this phone right here is this little strip, and you take and just throw it up there like so. And I use this because I use a GPS or not a GPS, I use a in-dash car cam. And then all these are, and I'm going to leave these in the car. There's a round one and a square one. These will hold about a pound, so you can throw your gun up there if you wanted. Not that you should be driving around with your gun on your dash, but I have them in my gun safe, and they work really well. Anyhow, you just take this off and put it on the back of your phone or the phone case, and you just throw it up there, and it holds it. I find that if you want to type on the touch screen, it being down here works perfect, and it's a nice visual, and especially like GPS or whatnot. But when you're running the camera for recording, this works really, really nice, and then you can hit the button and record out the back window. What else do we do here? Take that out, we don't listen to it ding. And then I don't think there's anything on the CB here, but you basically got volume control, and this has that sound tracker on it where you hit the button and it doesn't actually static for you and tunes it in a little bit better. Real popular with the Jeep guys, because the brand new Jeeps don't have a place. We'll turn that off. Those guys are hunting. And I have everything on this car. This car was so well taken care of. I actually have the original invoice and window tag for the for sale sheet that was on the window in the car. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, and then this, you've probably seen in the other videos, but the LED lights and stuff all through the car. Super nice to have all that stuff modern. Why don't we jump into the back here? We'll start at the rear hatch. Let's take a look at the rear hatch. Let's start on this end of the car. Again, the car is super clean. I've got my bug out bag that I always take with me in case something ever happens along the way. Just toss that. Into a seat here. And well, this car has a barbecue under the hood, so you can cook while you're driving. So this is aluminum foil. It's for wrapping your food up. I've actually got a baked potato under there right now that I'm cooking. And then I went as far as to even put a brand new spare tire in it. A Goodyear that's never been ran on. It's got the jack. There's actually wiring in the car to put behind your RV. And it's got diodes on the tail lights and stuff, so the power system can't feed into your tow vehicle. All really nice stuff. There's no tow piece on the front of it anymore, but you can order one right up and bolt it on if you want from, I think it's oxtail or something, I think is what they call it. But you know, just everything is here. It's all correct. Like I said, I went through the entire vehicle thinking that this would be mine for several years, and now I've decided I want to play around a little bit more with some other stuff. This vehicle also has It's wired for a trailer hitch. It's a 4-pin flat. It's got airbags underneath it to carry a load. You've got a trailer hitch obviously on it. You put a rack back here. You can virtually put as much weight as you want behind this on the rack and just pump the airbags up. And a Geo chassis, actually drives a lot better than stock when you put about 20 pounds in it. It shifts the load as it raises the bottom of the car up. It shifts the load to the front tires and makes them steer and brake a lot better. Cars are just too light in the ass end. Not enough spring in it. And then it's got a brand new exhaust system underneath it. You know, you can't see it, but I do have a video of the installation. But it's got brand new struts and airbags. And there's the airbags, and then obviously this has the trailer hitch installed on it. And you know, as you can see underneath here, it's obviously it's a Washington car, so there's no rust at all, which is starting to become more and more rare on the older ones. It's got all LED tail lights. It's got the emergency brake tail lights in it from Japan, which are really, really nice. So when you step on the pedal, they do a little flick strobe to grab the person behind your attention before they go solid. I have a video on that if you look through some of my videos. And let's take a look at the front of the car. Here's something I wanted to show while I'm standing here before I forget. This all of the antenna mounts and cables are fire stick, and they're really nice for antennas. I'm going to back up on the CB antenna. It's just low enough that it'll drive into your garage with no problem. But if you want to remove it, it's on a spring too. And then if you want to remove the antenna, I've put it on the quick disconnect that they sell. And you can throw that right in the car. This car's got a brand new battery in it. It's got a rebuilt transmission with the heavy duty bearing kit and custom synchro kit in it. The transmission is beautifully smooth. You can shift it with one finger. Right there's the big potato I've got going on, and there's room right there for another something piece of meat or whatnot. But I just have a little garlic and butter wrapped. The engine in it is brand new. It's the 1.316 valve. So it's got the not a twin cam. It's a single cam, all running off of a 16 valve running all off of one camshaft. If you're not familiar with it, it's a 13 BB motor, used very often in the aircraft conversions. This gets gas mileage about like a 3-cylinder. If you have the 8-valve version of this motor, they don't get that great of gas mileage. They're about 10 miles to the gallon to 15 miles a gallon off of a 3-cylinder 5-speed. But this motor, being so much more efficient, produces all of its torque down low. So it virtually burns the same fuel as a 3-cylinder. I even have the original keys for the car, and we've thrown an extra key in there. I don't know if that shows it down there, but there's a hide key there. Well, now everybody can take the car if they want. This is a great place to put a hide key if you have a Geo, because you can reach underneath the bumper and grab it, and it just sits on that nice metal grill right there. For one of my previous videos, there's a gentleman that drove one down to Louisiana, and I think he gets 48 or 52 or something going across the country in his. Obviously he's doing 55 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour. Your lead foot will alter all that. But it's got an updated timing belt on it, so you still got your timing marks down there, but now you can set the tension and check the belt tension every time you get oil or check the oil, or get fuel. And then when you're checking your oil, which I know everybody does, mentioned the barbecue, I'm sure I probably did. So you can put something in this side, and you can put something inside here, and they don't even fall out, so you don't have to worry. Gosh darn it, a little bit warm. That wasn't very smart. They just lay right in there, so you don't have to have any fancy straps or anything. And it works just beautiful. It doesn't burn anything, and that's really nice because the heat's being radiated up off the exhaust. It's got a new radiator cap. The radiator system's been all flushed. It's got all stainless valves and stuff in it. In fact, that's a hill climber head that's on there, so it's we went after a little extra power with it. This motor compared to a 3-cylinder, I know these are really rare, or everybody would probably have one. This has got the same power as a turbo Metro without any of the turbo and the nonsense of the of the turbo. Plus, there's not many turbos in the U.S. Just a great setup. It's got Bosch wiper blades on it that are all brand. Oh, you know what we do have here? These are Kenworth or Peterbilt, and I don't remember. Washer fluid sprayers. They spray forward and, oops, I'm not even in the camera. They spray forward and straight down, and it gets all the fluid on the window. And all we've done is unplug the factory fittings, which you could plug right back in, but I've got them unplugged, and then I've just rerouted them and put them on the wiper arms. That is the best setup in the world. I might not ever own a car that doesn't have those again. I completely see why the semi-truck drivers use those. Just sprays the fluid right on there and doesn't shoot it across the window, or not across the window. It doesn't shoot it off into the air. Really a super good idea. Whoever came up with that simple idea is a genius. All right, there's a previous video. If you go back over this summer, I posted, so a few months back, a few weeks back, something like that, that I posted these lights that I put on here. This eyebrow light that's down here, this driving light, is amazing. And just the fact that you can see these LED lights during the day is a testament to how good they are. Watch the other video. Back up through some of my YouTube videos, you'll find it. Just a few videos back. And I do it at nighttime so you can truly appreciate how good they work. But this car, when it drives down the road with that eyebrow and stuff on it, it looks like one of those 911, oh, I don't want to say the Carrera. Oh, it looks like one of the new Porsches. It's very cool. And that was by luck. Somebody pointed that out to me. I just mounted them on there. And then we've got the rear tail lights that have the flash built into them. And it's got the LED fog light laser. I've got that in another video too. You can see it kind of shooting onto my foot. But in the fog, that lights the whole area up back here, and at night it looks really cool. It's all the new Audis and Mercedes have it. We'll give a walk around here on the rest of the car. Let's close the door so we don't have to listen to the buzzer. Now, particularly when I found this car, I was after something with some really nice interior, which I found, but the paint on the car is pretty gosh darn good. And it saved having to pay for a paint job, so that's a huge bonus. It's not perfect. There are some things in it, but the silver, they're just about impossible to see. And it's really hard to see, but I know there's like a couple little scuffs on the hood here, and they probably just polish out. I've never actually even tried that. And then there's a little something here, but, and again, you can't really see it, but I can kind of feel it. There's something there, and then there's a couple of dings. I could have swore right there, but honestly I don't see anything at all. They're so limited. Just non-issue. I mean, the paint is just perfect for for as old as it is. And obviously somebody didn't drive this car to work, or if they did, they didn't have to park next to anybody else, because the car doesn't have any of that road rash that they normally do. I wouldn't be surprised if this was somebody that worked from home, or a wife, or somebody that well, they just didn't have to go into a parking lot. I don't know how you classify that. I'm going to walk around one more time and show you the whole car. At any rate, I like to build these things so much. I enjoy the challenge of hunting all the parts down and everything. It's like those front mud flaps. You don't see them very often. I actually found those in a part store in Canada, and it was just old, or not a part store, a dealership online that was liquidating their Suzuki stuff, and I came up with them for a song too. I think I had to pay like $10 or something for them. I think the shipping was more than the mud flaps, but I don't know, I just like hunting that stuff down. Let's see, you know, I've got my stick here, so I can actually even go over the top of it. You will see that it looks, and I'm going to see if I get the sunlight just right. You might not even be able to see it, but there's a little something here. That is just needs to be cleaned off. I've been messing around with that with my finger. I should get some alcohol or something. That is from my roof rack, and those are the sticky pads from the Yakima roof rack. And I got them mostly cleaned off here. But yeah. Anyhow, this is an amazing vehicle if you're looking for something that if you like to have virtually a new car without having to actually spend the money for a brand new car. This has got to be the best example of one of these that I've been able to come up with in, I don't know, a few years. It's just oh, there's, you know, I can see it now in the sunlight. There is a little ding right there. God, you got to be able to see that. The problem you have with these new digital cameras is they'll make a bad color, a paint job look like it's brand new. I see that all the time. I don't know if you can see that. I can see it from here. Anyhow, I know that most of these end up on the other side of the Mississippi, and this is the video that you will virtually look the car over with. Alright, and then this car has the 1.5 inch aluminum wheel spacer hubs bolted on it, so the car's 3 inches wider than a normal chassis, and it is amazing. You can completely feel it from all my Geos from now on. I'm gonna definitely put those on. The airbags on it and the wheel spacers and the brand new shocks and struts, completely worth having.